Well, hello loves, and happy Sunday to you. So today is my day to I announced last week that I was going to be taking some time off during the summer, like every other Sunday. And what I was going to bring to you on Sundays is either a remix of old content, and today I'm going to be bringing you some content from the membership. And we do an art challenge once a month in the membership, and it's playtime, really. It's the chance it's the act of discovery and learning what you like, what you don't like, experimenting and playing. And if I can convey anything to you as an artist, whether you've been doing it for a very short period of time or a very long period of time, and whether you are in a creative flow right now or whether you're feeling stuck and don't know where to start. Some of the things that I'm going to be bringing you while I am taking some time to rest this summer is a chance to, hopefully the videos that I share with you will ignite a spark in you to be childlike and just play. I cannot express to you enough how important it is to do nothing messily without any expectations ever. The act of play, the act of exploring, experimenting, trying new things without it ever becoming anything, or the thought of it ever becoming anything, is so incredibly valuable. I grow every single time. And my own art practice, my own art coach, my own growth has come because of the things that I'm going to be showing you while I am out for this Sunday. And this one is a good one. They're all good. Because I was going over content and I was like, oh, that's so good. So this one, I titled it Surprising Marks because I got comments, 2 weeks ago when I did the journal page, when I did the journals that I use. And I'll link that above if you haven't seen it. But I did a little bit of a sneak peek into some of my journals, and I got several comments and emails about a couple of the abstracts or some of the abstracts that I had in my journals. And what I'm going to show you today is the start of those abstracts. And when I do abstracts or anything that's abstract-like, for the most part nowadays, it all starts with this childlike exploration. Those are the underlayers. Some things stay and some things don't. But the things that I'm going to show you today is a great way to get started. If you're stuck, if you don't even know what you want to create, this is the place that you'll want to be. You'll want to watch this because it's going to give you a chance to play. And always in that play, ideas happen. People say, I haven't shown up to my table in months. Well, you have to show up to get ideas. And it's not that you have to show up and do this big masterpiece. You have to show up and play. And that's what I am going to show you. So these are the pages that I was showing in my actually, these are the ones that I haven't even touched yet, but you'll recognize these once I share the video with you. But these are ones that I have worked on. And over here on this side, I am writing out what I like, what I don't like. What's my favorite part? I am informing myself of the things that I love and that I don't love. But these are all just play. They all started out with simple, surprising marks, and I'm going to show you what I did to get here. Because we don't plan on any of this. It all just happens naturally. And Like this is one that I worked on. Again, more notes about what I like and what I don't. More notes. This is to remind me that I like those big black swooshy marks. More experimenting, more notes, all of the things. These are all bits from what you're going to see today that I have continued to work on and add little things to when I have just a few minutes to do something. And so like just last night, I was experimenting with transparent layer because that's what I'm working on for the membership. And I did some fun transparent layers with some stencils and stuff like that. And I had them out and I thought, you know what? I'm going to put them down and see what I think about that. And I love this. I love it. I added, these are the other transparent layers that I added to this page. And so this is part of the process of creating, whether you're creating an abstract, a floral, a seascape, a landscape, it all has to start with some experimentation to see what you like and what you don't like and where you might want to take something. So I'm excited to share this lesson. Now, this was a lesson for the membership, so I may refer to members in the video. But keep in mind that what I'm sharing with you today is so incredibly valuable for your art practice, for your play, for discovering new ideas and deciding what you love and what you don't love. So I hope you enjoy this, and you can head on over to the subscriber library and subscribe to the library, and there's a community, a private community within that. And I would love if you do some experimenting to share that in the community. If you feel like you've done something that you have learned and want to share it, I would love to see it in the All Workshops community. And all you have to do is subscribe to the library and you get access to or any of my workshops. If you have any of my workshops, you have access. I would love to see what you create because it always does a teacher's heart good when there's an aha or an exciting moment. So anyway, all right, so I'll stop talking and we'll get creating. I hope your Sunday is restful and peaceful, and I hope that you always, always know that you are loved. I have out on my table underneath here, I have a sheet of mixed media paper. It's 18 by 24. And you don't have to go this big, but the bigger the better. It just gives you funner results, I think. So if you don't have something big like that, you can, like this is packing paper. You could use packing paper. You could use like a paper bag cut open. You could use that. This is just playtime and seeing what expressive marks can look like when we do something fun with it. I'm not going to give it away just yet. So this is just regular raw paper. I have not gessoed it. I have not done anything. I want this to be super simple and easy because of where we can go with our fun surprise mark making adventure. So this is called surprised marks. So I have out some markers. I have out some soft pastels, and I'm gonna leave the list here for you. So 1 large sheet of collage paper, 2 soft pastel sticks, 3 color markers, 4 we'll do splatters, and then 5 large brush. The largest brush you've got, largest scruffiest brush you've got. Here's my large scruffy brush. Yours could look like this. It could look like this. This may be your largest. That's okay. Whatever it is, be daring and go as large as you can. It'll make you feel uncomfortable. That's what we want. And that's really the only, and then black paint. So you can use black gesso, any type of black paint. And splatters, we can do splatters with our markers or splatters with any kind of color of paint that you want. Use colors that you love, that inspire you, that maybe you, or use colors that you haven't used in a while. There's complete freedom here. So start out with, it doesn't really matter where you start, but you're going to do soft pastel marks with movement. And I just needed to write that down, so I remember to write that in the instructions down below here. Then markers with squares, doing squares. You could do circles, choose a shape, triangles, circles, whatever you want to do. I chose squares. Then splatters of any color, and then your large brush with black paint. So here's my example. So I'm going to start with my soft pastels. And I am going to, this is soft pastels with movement. So I'm just going to be bold. And it's moving somewhere. They're starting somewhere and they're ending somewhere. Movement. And I'm going to switch colors. See how that's moving completely across the page. Okay. And then I did do a little brown, didn't I? Oh, this is black. Is that black or brown? I think that was for a different project. Okay. So did I have 3 colors? Yes, 3 colors. Okay. 3 colors of soft pastel. That'll be okay. And then 3 colors of my markers. I'm trying to decide which do I want. Orange, pink, purple, or blue. What do I want? And if you feel like I want them all, so maybe I'll just do them all. So I'm going to do squares. And this is going to be big squares, little squares. Filled in, empty. Outlined, whatever you want. This is total freedom. Maybe I'll put a little square right up here. Okay, and then another square over here. I want to turn them so it's not super predictable. Okay, and then orange. Yeah, let's do orange. That's more of a rectangle. That's okay. I'm going to overlap them. Feel free to do that. There's no rules except for the few that I've given you. Okay, and how about that? Okay, and then splatters. So I think I use this one for my splatters. Yeah. You can use paint. Use whatever you want. And let's see, can I get some splatters with this one? You betcha. And then maybe I want some magenta splatters. So let's see, I've got a little bit of acrylic ink out here. Maybe I'll just splatter it here. I don't have much left in here. Oh, very nice. Let me see if I can, I'm going to put a little water in here. Okay, I like that. Now I'm just going to kind of tap these up a little bit because I want to continue moving. I don't want to have to stop and dry. I want this to be like a 10-minute exercise. Okay, perfect. And then my black paint. So I've got some gesso out here. I'm going to put it out. Okay, gesso. I'm going to put a little water on my brush, make it, you know, kind of fluid. And now I want to come in and I want to make bold marks. Let it run through the water. Let it run through whatever you've got going. Look how cool that is. That's just so exciting. Big sweeping movements again. Okay, I like that. Oh, I think I just got black paint on my face. Okay, that's all I need. I want you to do. It's that simple. Now, I'm going to get this dry really fast, and then we're going to come back. Okay, so now that this is dry, I want you to turn your sheet over, and I want you to fold it in half. Lengthwise or widthwise, whichever. Okay, and then fold it in half the other way with your image down. So you're folding in half this way. Now you're gonna, if you want, so you can see I've got soft pastel coming off on my hand. I'm not too worried about that, but you can always spray it with a fixative or matte varnish. Okay, so now that you've got this, I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to fold it into the center, where that center fold is. Just like that. And then I'm going to take this side and I'm going to fold it into the center to meet that center fold. And then what I'm left with is like a W. See that? So I've got my fold here in the center, and I've got this cross mark right here. Okay, so that's what I've got. That's what it's like on my table, just like that. I'm going to take my scissors, and on that fold, that center point, I'm going to cut to this next fold. I'm going to cut both of them at the same time. So now I'm going to cut this just like that to that point right there. See that? So it leaves me with this little opening. Now I'm going to fold it over, push it together, and now I have, mine's a little wonky. I may not have folded it very straight, which is very, very typical for me. Let me just make sure. I don't really care if it's wonky. Oh, that looks pretty good. And you can turn it to whatever page you want first if you want it. But now you have this little booklet. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do with this, but the point of this exercise is to see things differently. So often we try to control the outcome of our work, and I'm going to zoom in here. We try to control the outcome of our work. And really, if we allow ourselves freedom and look at our work differently, it's amazing what we can see. So for instance, this overall piece was really a nothing. But this right here is something to me. It's very interesting. And so then I can come back with, let's just say, a piece of collage paper and then a focal point. And I've got these really interesting marks happening. The freedom in it is what's beautiful. Look at this, for example, or even just that. Look how exciting that is. Now you can keep this in, I did this booklet just because I know some of you like to have like little journals and things that you can work in. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut these up into squares. So I did a practice one. Here's the first one, the practice one I did just to make sure that I was giving you the right instructions. And I love these little bits. But what I'm going to do for myself is I'm going to, in the spaces, and I may not even have to, I do have to cut it. I'm going to cut at the folds. And I'm going to cut each one, you know, into their perspective little square or rectangle. I mean, look at that. That is a piece of art right there. It's so incredibly interesting. And I can then take these and maybe rearrange them and put them together. Or what I plan to do, so any one of my journals, whatever one will work. I can now take these and use them as a starting point for a piece of work. I can put them like this. I can double it up. I can rearrange them however I want to do it. So there's a lot of options for you. But what I really, really want you to do is look at these, look at the freedom of your marks differently. When we look at it as a whole, it's not very exciting. It's not very beautiful. It's kind of a mess. But that's where the beauty starts. So for instance, I'm gonna cut and I'm not even worried about how I'm cutting, because this is for me. This is for my, for learning. But I love this. I mean, to me, this is like if I added just one more thing. So like this right here. What if I added, like, keeping with the same freedom, I can look at this piece, and of course I love magenta. So what if I put out a little bit more magenta, because I don't have much, and this is kind of bare over here. What if I added something to it with that magenta? And I love that big black mark. And then what if I, that's not the gesso. Put a little gesso out here. That was a lot of gesso. What if I come in and I just eliminate something? What happens then? Does it get more interesting, or does it get less interesting to you? Is it something that I need to break up? Is it something that I need to blend out? What do I need to do? Do I need to add more marks? Or do I like it just the way that it was? So if I grab and I bring some more black up to the top, do I like that? we have these little mini starting points of where we can take things. Like this is a great beginning of something. And I can add whatever I want to it, like just that alone. And a floral. I've got a floral. Sorry for my dog, I'm sorry. Or butterflies. Or what do I have? I've got all kinds of stuff. Oh, see, like that's kind of cool. Well, that's for Christmas though. All kinds of endless possibilities. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. I want you to do your own exploring, and I want you to see things differently. So like that, if I decide to put maybe a focal point, maybe I move it over here a little bit more. Or maybe I put it over here. That's good contrast. I want you to look at those kinds of things, okay? So let me just set that aside. And let's just take a look at other pieces, other things that we can notice in these little minis. And you don't have to cut them up. Use it like a book if you want, if that's what inspires you. See, I love these blue squares. That's kind of a cool, I like that. So if I bring my journal back, I come here, and do I do it like this? That's kind of cool. Or do I do it just like this? I really like the little ones because I like the white space around it. Helps me see just a little bit more. That's a great beginning. I could see a vine happening. And this is one of the most important things for you as you are growing in your creativity and your skill. Just making sure that's extra soft. And let's just and you can make this as easy and playful as you want. Use a marker, use a pastel, but just play. Think about just doing something a little bit different. Or think about something that contrasts with what you've got going on in the background, like this vine, because it's black instead of green. It's going to stand out. It's going to show up. There's just a lot that you can do with these little cards that you've now created to make them fun and to just look at something a little bit differently. So I want you to take your time and play with this technique. I'm going to cut this one. Let's see this one. That's a great one. But I will be cutting all of these up and putting them in my journal. And then when I have a moment or two in between, life, projects, whatever, I have something to respond to. Something in my journal already that's really interesting that I can then play off of. I could use a stencil. I could, you know, there's just a million things that you can do. But this now is already done and waiting for you. And I know my journal's a little bit bigger. You don't have to use, you know, I've got smaller journals. See, that might be a good size. Maybe I'll do that in this one. This is an in and out journal. Yeah, I think I will. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to spray all of these with some varnish because it seals it right away, and then I'll put them down with some matte gel. Matte gel will hold them down really well, and then I've got this right away, something to respond to and play with in my spare time, you know, because I have a lot of spare time. And I can do them, you know, one at a time or whatever. But this is just such an excellent way. Like, I love that. Look at that. I can see a lot of things. What a great background. Even if you did just words, writing in there, like, I don't know if this one will work or not. Oh, there we go. There we go. Take a risk. Learn to see differently. See anything. Sky's the limit. I love this because it's not a finished product. It's just play. And that is the most important thing to our growth as creatives, as artists. That expectation of having to finish something is too much pressure all of the time. Yes, we do want to finish some things, but we need this playtime to get ideas, to learn, to grow, and to find joy, to rest, to relax. No pressure. Love that. I cannot wait to play with these. And maybe I will share some of my playing in the Backstage Pass. Look at that. Oh, I love it. So I've got just about all of my pages cut up. I think I'm going to put them down one at a time, or on one page each. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. That way I can pull this out, because this is an in and out journal, so the pages come out and then you can put them back in. And I got this for the sole purpose of experimenting. My goal for this year release, and part of that release is just doing this, nothing, like just playing and having fun and letting go, because those are always the times that I grow. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm all excited because this makes me happy. And I hope that you will try this and play with it and see what you can come up with. I've given you, and keep your list of things that you do on this sheet simple, because you want the blank space. You want the empty space so that you have some freedom in putting other things down, and you need that empty space for visualization so that it's not completely crazy town. So like even with this one that I've added the vine, I like it less because I've added the vine. It feels too busy, like maybe I just needed shapes or something, or a smaller one. But those are the things that we learn when we do this kind of thing. This is not a failure. This is going to go in the book, and maybe I completely transform this into something else. But this is how we learn, and this is how we grow as artists. Okay, loves. I'll have all the instructions down below for you, and the list of what I did. And I want to see what you come up with. I hope that you do this challenge, and that it is so much fun for you. All right, have fun.